Diggs is making a name for himself as the Cowboys' new shutdown corner. The former Alabama standout leads the league in interceptions with 6 after another pick this past weekend. He's on a roll. He has 12 games to get 8 more picks to tie the NFL record for most interceptions in a season and would need 9 to break it. Shannon, how much of a shot do you give him to break this record?
I give him 2% chance.
2%.
Yes, there's a reason why this record is still for almost 70 years. Dick Night Train Lane set this rookie record in his rookie season. He had 14 picks. He never even got close to that again because why? They stopped throwing at him. And eventually that's what's going to happen to him.
Yep.
They're going to stop throwing at him. Now, I can see if he was a safety skip, he could roam the field and that. But they're just like, when you play corner, I'm not throwing at time. I'm not throwing at these great Rod Woodson. I'm not going to throw at him. Rod ended up moving to safety.
He did.
And got a bunch of picks that way. But, Skip, I just think the thing is that, yes, he's off to a great start. He has incredible hands. He went to school, he went to Alabama as a wide receiver.
Sure did.
They moved him to the opposite side of the football. His brother is a wide receiver, so it shows that they both have very good hands.
And he said, he called his big brother, and he was in tears because Saban said, I'm moving you to corner.
Right.
And Stephon said, just embrace it.
Right.
You know, don't give up. Just say, I'm all in.
Right.
And look where he is now.
And look where he is now. He's arguably one of the top 2 or 3 corners in all of football. And so for me, I don't think he's going to get it, Skip, because I remember, Mark Carey, who came out with me, I think he had 10 one year. Champ Bailey had 10 one year. Xavier Howard had 10 last year.
Yep.
Skip, that's a lot of interceptions, but eventually they will stop throwing at you. They're not going to. It's not like a wide receiver, Skip, that you can shut him down because I throw enough targets at him, he's going to get the ball. You can't shut Devontae down, Skip, because Aaron Rodgers is going to throw him 15 targets. If he catches 8, he's going to have great numbers at the end of the game. In a situation like this, I just won't throw the ball your way. Then how are you gonna get picks if I don't throw the ball your way? So I don't think he's gonna get. I give him a 2% chance because anything's possible. But if you had to say, well, Shannon, put some money on, nope, I put money that he wouldn't do it.
So you're giving him a milk chance, which is what you drink. 2%?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You give him a milk chance, which is almost no chance.
No.
I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to give him a 40% shot.
40?
Because there's 17 games.
Yes.
And he's so far ahead of schedule that over the next 12, he needs 8 to tie and 9 to break.
Right.
The great Dick Night Train Lane.
I think when Dick did, it was 12 games, if I'm not mistaken.
That's just ridiculous. I can't even go there. That's even before my time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the way he plays. He travels. So he's always taking the number 1. He's taking the Devontae. And by the way, Devontae Adams is just playing. He's playing at a level that is getting to be Moss-like to me. He's about as explosive as I've seen since Randy Moss.
Right.
And yet, I look back at what you say about time, Deion Sanders. He's simply the greatest corner ever, and I don't even think it's even close. And I got in a big argument one time with Darrelle Revis about this, and I'll give Darrelle number 2, but I just can't go up there because I watched Deion up close and personal, and I've never seen anything like him before. It's like Barry Switzer said that first year he was coaching the Cowboys. He pulled me aside at one point and he said, it's like he's not governed by the same gravity that the rest of us are.
He was super light on his feet.
Super light on his feet. And so I look back at what was his biggest year of interceptions. It was that last year in Atlanta in '93 before he went to San Francisco. He got 7. 7.
Yeah.
And then he had 6 2 other times.
Right.
And then I look at my man Revis. And the most he ever had in his 3rd year with the Jets was 6. So to your point, they developed so quickly an aura of invincibility that they just said, okay, I give up.
It's not worth the risk.
Okay. Trevon doesn't yet have an aura of invincibility because last year he was often a liability.
Right.
And I witnessed a similar sort of explosion into the National Football League back in 1981. There was this this kid out of Grambling, undrafted, named Everson Walls. And it was so bad. He was such an also-ran in camp that the first night of the first preseason home game, you get the flip card in the press box with all the rosters on it, and he was identified as Emerson Walls. Emerson, well, they didn't even know his name. And what did he proceed to do? That night, he blocked a punt. That was the first time he caught my eye, like, wait a second, who's that kid? Oh, Emerson is actually Everson Walls, and here he came. Well, he was such a liability early on, they just said, we can just terrorize him. You know, we can take full advantage, and he was so long and such a ball hawk that it started to happen. And he got the Cowboy record of 11, but he had some disaster days. There was a home game against Miami that I'll never forget because he got terrorized.
Well, the thing is, he has tremendous, but you got a guy like Diggs, you got to double move him early. You got to put him in fear, because if you don't, Skip, the farther the game goes and you haven't double moved him, he's going to keep shrinking the field. He's going to shrink in the field. So now when you throw a hitch, he's on top of you, Skip, because he ain't going to get out of his back pedal.
But when he plays, they don't play Devontae, but when he plays a Devontae-like number one, I still think just as a sophomore cornerback, second-year cornerback, that they'll still say, we can get him every once in a while.
But I'm trying to think, when you say there is no, I mean, let's see, I mean, they're going to play the same kind of coverage everybody else is playing against Tyreek. They're not going to single him one-on-one with Tyreek. They're going to play man coverage, but they're going to keep those safeties deep, dare Kansas City to run the football. So that would be his best matchup, I think, moving forward. Probably.
I'll give you that one. Like in New England, I don't know that there's an obvious, I guess
Jacoby Myers or Aguilar or Kendrick Bourne. But, Skip, they spread the ball around anyway. They don't have no one guy that says, okay, you're getting 12 targets. They don't have a Devontae. They don't have one of those guys like a D-Hop. Now, if he played D-Hop, you know what? They do play D-Hop. So we'll find out.
It will come down to how many opportunities. And then it will come down to how many of those do you
come down with.
I love him because he's got receiver skills. And I love him because he's starting to play with a swagger that I haven't seen since Darrell or maybe even back to Time.
But that's what you got to, Skip. You got to have a short memory. You just got, you got to have supreme, because they're asking you to backpedal as fast as they're asking a man to run forward. And that guy knows where he's going, and you're guessing. Your film study is saying, okay, with this split and this formation, this is what he likes to run. And you got but what if it's something else? Because we should tell all the time, we played around with our splits. Because teams study that. Oh, you 2 yards outside the numbers. Or you think you're finna run that bang 8. You think you're finna run that skinny post on me sharp? It ain't finna happen, bro. So you had to play around with your splits.
So what did he do to Sam Darnold late in the Carolina game? Because he was taking DJ Moore all over the field. That was one where they're going to go to DJ, right? If we could see that interception late in the Carolina game, he jumped his route. He just said, I got this. And then he just took it right away from a very good receiver,
Yes.
That's instincts, ball skill. It's all.
It's what we call. That's what they call. If you skip, you can't see it all the way. But he never gets out of his back pedal. He says, "I'm gonna play the sticks." It's 3rd and 2. There's a great chance that you're gonna run this stop route, and if you throw it, I got something for you.
It's classic cluing. He was cluing down distance routes.
Yes.
And he jumped it. You could have gotten burned.
If you double move him, Skip. He also could have hit the ball. Could have hit the turf. You break it up. But it seems to me that every ball that he gets his hands on is not hitting the ground. He's coming down with it.
Then the one against Glennon the other day, later in the game, was classic Neon Dion, because if we could see that route, it's just the ball is up for grabs, and guess who's going to go get it? Guess who's going to go get it? The receiver is going to go get it, because the better receiver at that point was Diggs. Right? Okay. So that he kind of looked a little Dion.
I saw time he picked Rocket Ismail. But he picked him on a post. He went over the top of him. The ball was perfectly thrown. Time went over the top of him, picked it off and held it up over his head and brought it. Like Skip, the thing is, you saw it play, but people got to like go back and Google and YouTube it to see just how good time was.
But it was absurd. Then he got too good for his own good.
Because they wouldn't.
Because then after a while you just say, okay, we give up.
Because he told he picked Brett Favre in the playoff game. He's like, okay, you throw it out here again now. I'm going back. I'm a high step on you, Brett.
Well, I did tell you the other day, what did my heart the best was at the end of the game, little Anthony Brown on the other side,
Right.
pick 6.
Right.
And I thought, well, good. That'll help his confidence because he's going to get a whole lot of business.
Yeah, that's the guy. You find a weak link and you tug on it.
Yeah.
Skip, why would I fool with Trevon Diggs, who's going to be an all-pro at the corner position, when I can go at this guy?
Unless you think my guy's just better than Trevon Diggs.
No, I just put my the second best guy. Hey, you got to eat.
Okay.
Right. Oh, you put a number 1 receiver on Rod? I'm Steve-O Head. I'm going to eat today.
Okay.
I'm going to eat today.
Eat, Trevon.
All right, we're going to have to see how he does it, if he can break that record. I know it's hard to do. Guys, is Tom Brady looking to bounce back from one of his most embarrassing moments? That is next.
No mercy.